สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome to Morning Thailand. I'm วรรณสอนเครือหงส์
And I'm Thanandapat Noyvian. Good morning here, and you're watching us live from MCOT World as we keep you posted with the daily happenings in the Kingdom of Thailand. And today is Tuesday, June the 18th, 2013.
And as for today, we have a lot of interesting updates, that's for sure. However, a few of them you probably find very interesting, Kun Phai,
Right.
because I believe on the second half of our show, we have mainly a situation where a lot of issues has arisen in terms of the monks that has been
Right,
not exactly act according to the discipline that they're supposed to follow. So we're going to discuss about that. But I think you have a very interesting news to start us off.
Starting out with something green and
Well, this one is white, I think.
okay, it's white mushrooms that have been spotted in the lawn in front of the Thai Kufa building situated in the government house compound. You know, it has been spotted by the gardeners of the government house who has reported around 200 white mushrooms that have been springing up.
Right.
Unexpectedly.
And the thing is, you might not understand why is it such a big deal. Well, a lot of us don't understand either, but however, apparently it made in almost every single
on front pages.
Exactly, plus on TV as well. So just to keep you posted in terms of what's going on. So what happened, Kun Phai? Are these special mushrooms or?
It's just an ordinary mushroom, but it happened in the
It never happened before.
special lawn because the lawn in front of the Thai Kufa building has been a venue for many state receptions, dinners, parties, and all the jazz, So it's quite. However, unfortunately, they are not the plan to keep, so they already destroyed it, get rid of them.
So they already harvest all these mushrooms. However, no, I don't think we have seen them before. So that's why a lot of people were just like wondering what's going on. And I'm pretty sure, with the whole, is it today? Oh, it's already passed. The next the lottery.
Okay.
You're going to buy a lottery
if
based
that was
on the
what you
mushrooms
mean.
numbers.
There's suspected that there are some mushroom spores in the soil, and heavy rain over last week and also over the weekend has caused them to spring up, to flourish.
Right. So maybe this is like a sign of,
something politically
growing,
related.
Right. Maybe luscious green versus mushrooms. There might be something spring up in the government. Maybe we'll see some changes. I don't know. I'm trying to be very positive about this mushroom because obviously is nothing to it, but a lot of Thai news made a big deal out of it. So, we'll just give you a touch of what's going on.
Okay, but moving on to some unfortunate events that happened yesterday. Around 9 a.m. of yesterday, there were reports of a helicopter crash in Nakhon Nayok province. So rescue team rushed to the scene and found that an army helicopter has made an emergency landing. It happened in Bana district of Nakhon Nayok province. It was the DUE model helicopter. I'm not sure is it exactly the name. To call the helicopter is the real name, but they called it DUE helicopter.
I think it's probably the model that belongs to. Yeah, that is an army helicopter.
It belongs to Lopburi Army Base. And they suspected there was a malfunction in the rear motor of the helicopter, so it forced the aircraft to make an emergency landing. Luckily, no one was killed or seriously injured in the incident. There were around 8 soldiers in the helicopter at that time. 5 were hurt and 3 escaped unharmed.
Really? Just 5, huh? Well, by the look of it, I think the pilot probably made a very difficult landing, that's for sure, but able to save that many lives is, such a fortunate thing to happen. Now, just to give you a little details, Kun Phai, normally the army helicopters are not very stable, being the one of the army's families. I mean, my families are in the army. So I kind of know from, what my dad told me and my uncle told me is that sometimes they would use it for such a long time, like the
Right.
helicopter itself. So that's why sometimes you see some malfunction. But at this point, it's definitely a good news.
It's budgetary problem, isn't it?
Yes, the budget. Yes.
Okay.
Now, another news that I have for you. This one is, I would say it's fortunate as well because no one is killed from this particular incident, but it's really sad. This particular news is about a good Samaritan who have seen a woman in need. She was crying for help. He went and helped her, and the gang went after him and ended up beating him pretty badly. Very fortunately, he went into one of the shop, and they were able, like the shop owner actually got beaten up as well, but the shop owner has a gun. So he went in, grabbed a gun, and then just kind of chased the gangster away. Now, this happened in Ayutthaya province. The Good Samaritan lying there was Kun Watanyu Tanyapan, age 24. He said that this happened on 2 days ago, and he was on his way back with his girlfriend to the house. Now, he bumped into Kun Nat Pachari Si Sangwan, age 29. She was crying for help because apparently 2 of the teenagers were trying to grab her. And of course, luckily, he drove past by in his motorcycle with his girlfriend. So he let the girl jump on, and then of course they drove away. But like I said, later on, 5 of them just kind of drove after, just chasing him and then using bottles and sticks to try to beat him. And like I said, he went to a shop. The shop owner luckily have a gun, so they chased it away. At this point, the police are trying to find the culprits, the gangster, and make sure that this doesn't happen again.
He was admitted in the hospital, right?
Yes, because he has to have 10 stitches altogether. So good act, and very unfortunate that this has actually happened to him. But luckily, he wasn't badly hurt.
Right.
Now, I believe I have another news about this particular, once again, drug traffickers. But this time is actually quite serious due to the fact that there's a large volumes. Plus, 2 of them has been killed in this particular arrest. Now, this happened as the police actually looked into the situation, and they have been following and investigating this gang for quite some time. Now, this is Thai tribal gangs that smuggling drugs from other provinces. Now, they say that this particular gang has been arrested due to the fact that they were looking at this particular gang for quite some times now, and one of them has been in the, excuse me, I'm trying to find the news here. The gang has been in the big trafficking for such a long time, and of course, at this point, it seems that, as you can see there, the picture.
So you smuggle drugs from up north to Nonthaburi province, right?
Right.
Over the weekend, the police had arrested one Hmong Hills tribe, and they interrogated him, and they confessed that they used the code name 999 as a code name when they smuggled drug from the northern part of Thailand to the south.
Right.
And sometimes they stopped in Bangkok or neighboring provinces like Nonthaburi or nearby.
Right. So just give you a little bit more details here. They say that they were waiting for the person to come out, and of course, eventually one of the culprit came out in motorcycles, and another culprit followed with a car. So the police went after them. They went into a long chase because after they realized that it's the police, they ran away. So the police finally has to intercept them. Once the car stopped, there was a fire that's coming out from the car itself, of course. So there's a lot of shooting going on in there, and eventually the driver Ram, like they called him Kun Ram, of course. This is the Thai tribal trafficker, ran out of the car, but of course by that time, due to the fact that there's a spray bullet everywhere, and he's fired back to the police, so he was shot and killed at the site along with the person in the car. They found about 50,000 of the methamphetamine pills, about 8 kilograms of ice. We call it ice, right? Crystal meth.
Crystal meth.
Right. As well as in the house that they were actually in, there are also 100,000 more of the methamphetamine pills. Altogether, they say that in a street value, it's about 60 million baht. So this is definitely a big gang that has been going on, and finally the police were able to capture them, and probably they are working on trying to find the big person behind this particular gang.
With this particular case, police got to be very more careful because the smugglers, traffickers brought weapons with them.
Right. But, at this time, I think they probably will be able to look into it a little bit more because they captured one alive. As you can see in the picture earlier on there, there's only one person that they able to capture alive. The other two were shot dead.
Okay, wrapping up this section of the show, we've got some pretty weird story from the south of Thailand. I wish it didn't happen very often. An elderly woman in Chumphon province, Kun Prida Charan Suk, has reported to authorities that she received an arrest warrant 2 weeks ago. And according to the warrant, it said the woman named Prida Charan Suk is the managing director of a company who is now wanted in a legal case.
Okay.
Prida was issued arrest warrant for not submitting a financial report to the Commerce Ministry. And when it was due, so it stated that the woman with this name had to turn herself in to the ECD, which is short for the Economic Crime Division's office in Bangkok by May the 24th, which is 3 weeks ago.
Right.
However, this Prida, as you see, aged 58, lives in Lang Son district of Chumphon province, and she said she was shocked when she heard the news when her relatives read this letter to her because she cannot read.
Oh, so definitely not a CEO.
And the thing is, she has made a living as a board bean vendor.
Okay.
The board bean, and
Right.
she earns only 200 baht a day. And moreover, she has never went to Bangkok before.
Oh, so one of those like boiled steamed peanuts that we munching on, that's what she was doing. So what happened? How come she got called?
I think it's
I think a lot mistaken identity maybe?
repeated names.
Okay, so I think there's a lot of people with a lot of first name and last name, the similar.
Right.
Exactly. This one is, I think, is the same, and I think they call for a few of them, like a few. I think 15 altogether, if I'm not mistaken. However, she's probably just has been called to be under the investigation.
So police needed to look into the situation and also clear her out of these charges as well.
But I can see how shocking she would be that all of a sudden her name just became,
The managing director?
Exactly. So, interesting enough. Now, before we go to a break, just giving you updates, we're going to have a little bit of a talk in terms of the monks and crazy breach of disciplinary. So please stay tuned.